CBS NCIS 19th season finale has been long awaited by many fans. 19 seasons is a long time. The finale just aired recently, and we got the shocking revelations about Parker getting framed for murder. Curious to find out more? Keep watching. In this video, we'll be reviewing the final episode and also looking at some other news that you may have missed. Let's get into it. First up, the season ends with a bang. Not unusual for NCIS finales, season 19 comes to a climactic end when Alden Parker is accused of murder. Fear not, though, because his team does everything in their power to make sure that he doesn't get framed for something he didn't do. The episode starts with former FBI agent Vivian Kolchak being kidnapped and shoved into the trunk of a car. How is this important? Well, Kolchak just happens to be Parker's ex-wife. It's also important because a birdwatcher was able to take photos of the incident, which eventually ended up in the hands of the NCIS. The birdwatcher isn't some innocent bystander, though, because he responds to a text asking how it's going with "It's done. We have her." NCIS pulls up Vivian's phone records and finds out that her last call was to his dad's senior home. Naturally, the team has to pay a visit to his father, during which the old man makes his disapproval of Parker and Vivian's divorce very clear, but strangely, he is also able to inform them of Vivian's jogging location. After discovering sunflower seeds at the location, the gang realizes that one of their former acquaintances, Frank Ressler, who was fired last year for taking bribes, liked sunflower seeds. Not that it comes as a surprise to any of us, they manage to find Vivian's car and Ressler's body in his garage when they get to his house. Parker also doesn't make things easier for himself when he admits that he visited his former partner the night before because he knew that Ressler liked sunflower seeds. To nobody's surprise, FBI Deputy Director Wayne Sweeney is very suspicious about Parker's role in the double crime. After all, Parker did get sued for defamation after he was found out to be responsible for getting Ressler fired, and the relationship drama continues. Like any other good NCIS episode, this one too has its fair share of relationship drama, with Casey and Palmer wondering whether it's time to reveal their relationship to HR. Of course, in the presence of all the murder and kidnapping, it is this piece of gossip that interests Ducky the most. Next, things get worse for Agent Parker. Oh, and to make things worse for Agent Parker, the lab finds DNA under Ressler's nails that belongs to Parker, along with a few defensive bruises on his arms. At this point, all the signs really are pointing towards one direction. Is Deputy Director Sweeney right to be suspicious of Parker? Naturally, they make their way to Parker's apartment and discover, of all people, the kidnapping victim Vivian, who claims that she escaped from her captors to seek help from the only person she says she can trust. Parker now finds himself in the interrogation room where he promises that he doesn't know how his DNA got under Ressler's nails. There's a silver lining, though, if it can be called that, because due to Vivian's description of where she was being held, they're able to find an abandoned strip mall with the word "Nevermore" written above the door, reminding them of an even scarier case involving a bioweapon and a man named Raven. If you thought that the case couldn't get any messier, you were wrong, because Parker is now informed that he is being investigated for fraud because he is suspected to be the owner of an offshore account. In this account, Ressler might have stored his illegally earned cash. Parker's response: "If I had an account in the Caymans, I'd be using it in the Caymans." Hear, hear. In a classic twist, Parker informs everyone that he would be willing to take one for the team so that anybody else on the team is not put at risk because of his actions. How noble, right? Well, that wasn't half as noble as Katie knocking over a plant inside which they discovered an FBI bug, which prompts them to decide that they need to get to the bottom of the problem, and that means that Parker cannot turn himself in. In true NCIS fashion, they remind themselves of rules 5, 8, and 15. Don't waste good, never take anything for granted, always work as a team, as Vance stalls Deputy Director Sweeney while Parker escapes with a burner phone. Not entirely comfortable with making a run for it, Parker is assured by the team that they consider him family, and apparently so does Vivian despite their irreconcilable differences, even reminding him of "for better or worse." The episode ends with Vivian slyly replying to the text "How's it going?" with "It's done, I have him." Watch out, Parker, for better or worse can be a tricky phrase, but for now it looks like you're certainly headed for worse. CBS NCIS has a whopping 19 seasons, and that's a really long time. Still, things seem to be constantly changing at the CBS studio. Here's some more related news you might not have heard of. CBS decides not to air the Season 4 finale of FBI. CBS has decided not to air the Season 4 finale of FBI this week. The reason behind it is actually quite devastating. The season finale, called Prodigal Son, involves a student playing a part in a deadly burglary. At this point, we're not even sure if CBS will decide to air it at any point in the future. In place of the finale, episode 12 was shown again on the network. The network is doing this out of respect for the tragedy of the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, where over 20 students lost their lives. Everyone who heard of this is deeply saddened, considering that this shooting is the most lethal one since the Sandy Hook massacre in 2012. The active shooter was an 18-year-old male, which only makes this whole tragedy even more unsettling. Many celebrities and other people from all over the world expressed their anger and grief over the lack of gun reform in the U.S. and all the young lives lost. Celebrities like Matthew McConaughey and Selena Gomez, who are native to the town of Uvalde, shared their thoughts on how deeply everyone is affected by this tragedy. Next, Blood and Treasure permanently moves to Paramount+. As the show comes closer to its premiere of the second season, CBS announced that it'll now be airing exclusively on Paramount+. The first 2 episodes are dropping on July 17th, with the rest of the episodes airing weekly on Sundays. Blood and Treasure is known for the action and adventure in it, following an antiquities expert and an art thief who form a team. What an odd pairing, you may think. This only makes the show more interesting, if anything. They chase a terrorist who collects money for his activities by stealing all these antiquities. Danny McNamara is the retired FBI agent played by Matt Barr. He teams up with Lexi Vaziri, played by Sophia Pernas. The strange thing is that Lexi blames her father's death on Danny. You can only imagine the tension and chaos between the two. They're polar opposites after all. In the first season, they're globetrotting to catch this terrorist, but end up finding themselves in the middle of a 2,000-year-old battle at the beginning of civilization. It ends with Danny handing his badge to Gwen after the opening of the Antony and Cleopatra exhibit, and Chuck leaving him alone with Lexi. At this point, the energy between the two is tense, and Danny reaches out to kiss her. A little enemies to lovers trope never hurt anybody. At this point, we can't wait for what the next season has in store for us. We'll definitely be tuning into it in July. Will you? Now, other TV show news this year. The past few years have been great for TV and movies, but so many of them are coming to an end this year. Riverdale is rumored to be canceled after its 7th season. American Rust, based on the novel by Philip Meyer, is also going to be canceled. CW's 4400 is also scheduled to be canceled after only 1 season. Other shows that are ending include Animal Kingdom. TNT announced that the 6th and last season will be out soon, in June of this year. We just can't wait to see what the epic ending of this show will bring for viewers. According to the New York Times, Arthur is going to be returning for its last and 25th season too. Many fans who grew up watching it now have their own kids watching it. It's pretty insane. While we're sad to see it go, the show has had a great run for this past few decades. There's also a lot of shows coming to TV in 2022 after a while. Let's look at a few of them too. Fans are particularly excited about Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney+. Stranger Things last season is also returning to Netflix on May 27th, and it's going to be really exciting. We've practically seen the cast grow up in front of our own eyes. Other shows include Ms. Marvel, Pistol, and Tom Swift. We just can't wait for all of these. That's a wrap for this video. What are you most excited about from everything that we've discussed in this video? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.